Hello and welcome to Leap to Unicorn Season 2 special on Young Turks, presented by IDFC FIRST Bank in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC-TV18. For 2 years in a row, Leap to Unicorn has emerged as one of India's largest startup growth and funding program. It's not a competition, it's an effort to nurture, mentor and fund India's best startups and help them take the big leap. In Season 2, more than 6,000 startups applied to take part in Leap to Unicorn, and of the 6,000, over 600 startups were selected for an intense month-long boot camp. Participants attended sessions by renowned experts, investors and mentors, doling out wisdom on every aspect of startup operations. We are glad to have the 5 finalists of Leap to Unicorn Season 2 with us here. We have Sahil Jagnani, founder and CEO of Primary Health Tech. We also have Anuj Srivastav, co-founder and CEO of On Finance AI. We've got Buddhabrata Chakravorty, co-founder and CEO of Swap Design. And we have Priyansh Mohan, co-founder and CEO of Mine Electric. And joining us virtually is Dr. Major Satish Jeevanavar, founder AI Health Highway. To all our finalists, welcome to the show. We are eager to know more about you and your journey to success, as well as what lies beyond. So without further ado, let's start the show. And before we talk about your Leap to Unicorn Season 2 journey, I would want to know and understand your business model, the pain point that you're solving, and the solutions that you offer. So let me start with you, Sahil. Tell us, what is Mobil Lab? What does it do? And most importantly, how are you offering this low-cost healthcare to low-income households, even at the most remote locations?
So Mobil Lab is a portable blood testing device. It is having 25 parameters related to kidney, liver, heart, anemia, and diabetes. People are not dying because of the diabetes. They are dying because of the kidney, heart, liver problems. So somebody who's having diabetes, 40% chances are there they are going to actually develop the kidney problem. But then there are no portable devices which are available for kidney, liver, heart, which can detect instantly and give the results instantly. So there is no such devices which is available right now. So we actually started working with the IIT Guwahati to actually develop this product where all these parameters in a small suitcase can be carried to a remote locations, and we have deployed more than 100+ devices, so people can get the test instantly and the doctor can see the patient, so that there is no delay in the diagnostic facility.
Anuj, let me come to you and tell us, how are you harnessing the power of generative AI to transform the banking and the wealth management industry?
I actually come from a investment banking background, so I have always seen, these analysts face a lot of issues when it comes to automating their tasks, be it daily task, monthly tasks, and so on. And if you take a common bank in India, if they have around 2 lakh employees, more than 30% of the employees are in compliance, right? And compliance is a heavily manual space, specifically in the fintech sector. So our product, NeoGPT, basically it helps these compliance officers automate their manual tasks, anything from evidence collection to audit to generating reports, compliance reports, to also helping them preparing these actionables, right? Because for the past 1 year, since SEBI and RBI has been extremely stringent, on these wealth management companies, AMCs, banks, and also exchanges, right? So they have been releasing circulars, consultation papers every day. So that was the major aim, to help these compliance officers, because banks and other institutions tend to overhire in that space, right? So that is the main factor that we entered into the generative AI space, so that we can help those compliance officers get benefit of our agents, AI agents that we have.
Buddhabrata, coming to you, talk to us about your autonomous battery swapping solution for electric four-wheelers. What is the pain point you're solving, and take us through your offerings. How are you doing that?
Well, the solution comes later. First, let's talk about the problem statement. Really, it's for the first time that we are going from a better user experience to a worse user experience. Because we are used to a 5-minute back in the road, in the IC engine era. You can just quickly refuel and, you are very agile. And that's very important for fleets. Because, we have this vision that India will be the 3rd largest economy by 2027, fastest, large economy. All of that needs to be enabled by mobility. And we cannot have a solution that is not agile. And this is where our autonomous battery swapping comes in. The foundational thesis is, when you come into the swap station, somehow, and there's obviously a lot of nuanced technology there, but somehow in less than 5 minutes, you're back in the road with a fully charged battery pack. And the entire deployment is through autonomous mobile robots. That is our proprietary technology.
Okay.
There's a lot of patents and all of that around it. But the thing is, all of this value delivery is with our own IP. We're not reliant on somebody else's IP, for instance. So 5 minutes back in the road, and now we are working hard to bring it down to 1 minute. So hopefully you'll be back in the road in a minute.
Priyansh, let me now quickly come to you. You're building a solution to limitless renewable energy with metal air fuels. Can you explain to us, for a layman, what it means and what it solves?
Fuel cells, as we know, they are energy generation devices. We have known hydrogen fuel cells for about 20 years now.
Yes.
They were the big innovation 20 years back,
Correct.
as you would very well know. But they never really picked up a very significant market share in the energy generation industry. Core reason, pricing and time of entry. The technology which we are building, which are metal air fuel cells, specifically aluminum air fuel cell, in which we use aluminium as the anode and breathable air as the cathode to produce electricity, it is around 10 times cheaper than hydrogen fuel cells. And when we talk about the energy density, it's around 5 times more energy dense than lithium-ion cells.
Okay.
Right now, today, we are working at 650 watt-hour per kg at a systems level, not a cell level, a systems level. So if I deploy a battery pack, I will have 3 times the current density and energy density of lithium-ion cells today, and the technology is just becoming better.
All right, on that note, let me go across to our fifth panelist who's joining us virtually. Satish, how does your AI-enabled smart stethoscope screens detect and predict heart and lung disorders? If you could also take us through the technology.
AI Health Highway is a medtech startup incubated in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. We focus on bringing innovative solutions at the primary healthcare clinics focused on non-communicable disorders. Our goal is to reduce 30% premature deaths due to NCDs by 2030. AI Steth, our first product, is India's first AI-enabled smart stethoscope. It's a platform which consists of device, data, and intelligence. The current gold standard for valvular heart disorders is echocardiogram, which takes 30 to 45 minutes and is present mostly in the tertiary care hospitals. It has to be done by a cardiologist. So AI Steth is a portable device. It can be used by physicians or ASHA workers at the primary healthcare clinics. And in 30 to 90 seconds, our first algorithm helps identify the presence or absence of murmur. This is how we are able to democratize healthcare access.
All right, coming back to you, Sahil. Let's talk now about the Leap to Unicorn journey, the season 2 that you've all been part of. How has the journey impacted you in terms of your business? Has it helped you evolve your business model, or in terms of, just growth as founders? Share your experience about the whole journey.
So we applied for Leap to Unicorn almost 8 to 10 months back. The biggest benefit that we can actually recollect, like what we have got from Leap to Unicorn, definitely we have been introduced to a lot of investors.
Yeah.
They have actually sit down and actually discussed the business model that we are having, the numbers, and that different kind of perspective they have given, because we were actually pitching to them. And they were not like the other thing, the other stuff that is there, but then they are actually working on giving the guidance, like what exactly has to be improved in terms of business model and the market access. So we are at a stage where we are going in the market, and then we are also having a lot of questions about the GTM as well. So they have helped in that perspective. Plus, it has also opened the doors for a lot of investment opportunities. So a few of the investors during the Leap to Unicorn program has shown interest, and then we are happy that we have participated in this particular event. And I should say that this program was more structured, more professional, and whatever has been promised at the start of the event, they have delivered more than that and more than what we have expected.
Anuj, talk to us about your experience, any change that you've brought into the business since this journey happened.
Yeah, definitely. So for the past 6 months, right, we have been connected with the Leap to Unicorn team. So they've been helping us particularly with 2 things. First is the networking, networking as in, clients introduction. And second is basically helping us pitch to investors.
Okay.
Because currently we are in the growth stage.
Yeah.
So we are raising our next round of funding. So they have connected us to a lot of tier 1, tier 2 investors, right? So we have been extremely thankful to them for that. And for the networking wala bit, they've also helped us in gaining, helping us connect with a lot of different type of BFSI firms,
Okay.
right? So that was the main, you can say, benefits that we reaped out of it.
Absolutely. Buddha Brata.
I think the whole point of having a co-founder generally is to gain a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think the team behind Leap to Unicorn Season 2, we look at them as another co-founder because they really gave us a lot of insight, access to certain sessions where we collected certain insights, because both Mohan and me, we are both techies. We are coming from a technology background. But then business and technology, they're not the same same loop. So naturally, there's a lot of new learning that came. Also, the team at CNBC, the sponsors, access to some investors, lots of wisdom that we could gather.
All right. What about you, Priyansh?
Since we had applied for Leap to Unicorn, and today we changed our pitch deck 4 times.
Okay.
Because we were pivoting heavily. We started out by having, when we applied, a very, very early demonstration of the fuel cell. And then it started getting better. It started getting sophisticated. The team changed. The technology really developed in its own way. And our market started changing. So Leap to Unicorn in its entirety for us has been a very good strategic timeline in which we have followed their pitches to make sure our pitch overall is actually going to be the best one it can.
Yeah.
And that helped us raise our round. Even the round that we have raised with Leap to Unicorn, in which they were able to bring VCATs in to close off and seal our round. So yeah, Leap to Unicorn gave us a footing in the door to get investment, and we will always be thankful to them for that.
Good to hear that all of you have gained so much from the program. Let me now ask our guest who's joined virtually. Satish, give us your takeaways from the program.
I think Leap to Unicorn had arranged a variety of sessions. I think the top 3 would be on the go-to-market approaches, the sessions which covered the lessons on fundraise and how to navigate the ecosystem, what are the best practices. And I think third most important has been listening to founders who have been part of the similar journeys and how they tackled some of the challenges while building their own startups.
All right, good to hear that, Satish. On that note, it's time for us to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and continue our conversation. Welcome back to Leap to Unicorn Season 2 special on Young Turks, presented by IDFC FIRST Bank in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC-TV18. Now, we're in conversation with our finalists. Any collaborative or mentorship opportunity that arose during Leap to Unicorn Season 2, which you can, which you would like to pursue perhaps beyond the conclusion of the campaign? Sahil.
Yeah, definitely. Like with the investors, when we have started doing the conversation, so it is only the starting point, because after that, a lot of DD and the other things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But if I tell you, like, these investors are very focused. Like, they are looking for the deep tech idea. So I work in a deep tech space. So finding out, connecting to these investors is very rare. So the curative thing that has been done through Leap to Unicorn program is definitely commendable.
Anuj, any partnerships that you would like to talk about? Of course, they connected with you a lot of people.
I would say the mentorship is there, right? So I'm like connected to C Fund, I'm connected to Prem from Pontac and so on, right? So they have been really helpful in specifically figuring out the personas that we should target, as an early stage startup in India. So the mentorship, I would say, and also the connects that they have, right? So a couple of these guys have also introduced us to some of the senior management and senior MDs of some of the biggest banks in India. Okay. So definitely, I've seen a lot of ROI in terms of a business and a GTM, right? So that is the main thing that Leap Unicorn has helped us with. Yeah.
Any particular interesting partnerships, people that you've met that you would like to continue?
I think C Fund, Sanchi Connect, they've both been very supportive over the last 1.5 months, helping us bridge certain gaps. So I think now it's a little too early to really conclude on these conversations. But then the good thing is, whenever you were talking about something deep, it usually tends to be a little long. So it's all okay.
All right. Any collaborations? You've, of course, received a funding round as well. But any collaborations that you would like to take further?
I mean, the best collaboration that a startup founder can have is with other founders.
Yeah.
Every one of us here, I'm pretty sure we'll stay connected. The group that we have with all the founders of the top 100, top 600 startups too. I can put a message in that group giving a requirement of either I need this person for a specific role, or maybe I need help in this technical challenge that I'm facing. And people come up with solutions.
And that's good to have.
Exactly.
You know, colleagues and founders who are going through the same thing as you, and they understand the mindset, that's good to have a good network of people. What key lessons or insights that you could share with us, with other startups as well, you know, who are aspiring to kind of have similar successes? Any insights or learnings, Sahil, that you can share with us?
If I can talk about my space, the deep tech space, it's the gestation period and the time to actually get into the market is a little longer. But if you are building something unique, something which is patented, which is in the deep tech space, you have to put those hours so that you have a unique proposition which is setting you apart from the competition. And that is the learning. Like in India, I think the deep tech startup ecosystem is evolving. It is not there that much. But I think in the last few years, I'm seeing a lot of interest from the VCs. People are connecting, they are understanding the space, and technical people are coming into this space. But I think the most important thing is to have that patience, which is very important in the deep tech space. And I think all the 4 founders are in the deep tech space. So they, I think, have the similar journey in there.
The biggest learning that you've had?
So the biggest learning I had over this course is basically the customer is the king, right? You have to basically serve them in a way that they are always happy, right? Other than that, the 2 major things that me and my co-founder Priyesh always look up to is basically you have to be resilient as a founder, right? And the main thing, you have to keep your team extremely collaborative, right? For that, you will always have to think about the survival, right? So because that's, I think, is the bread and butter of any startup, right? Be it funded or unfunded. So these are some of the learnings I've had. These, of course, I had through, you know, mentorship sessions and through talking to different folks.
Yes, Buddhabrata.
I'll talk about the swapping station network because we've been predominantly focused on the autonomous bots capability, on the battery swapping at a vehicle level. But then really to take this from a proof of concept to a nationwide, you know, phenomena, it is important that the station network is also, you know, pushed forward. I think a lot of perspective around that came forth. And I think it is because of such discussions with the boys at C Fund and at Sanchi Connect, lots of the kind of shift in perspective happened, you know, and that has made us think more towards how can we make that station network more scalable. And I'm happy to share now we have hopefully a sustainable and a viable solution. So it's a, you know, the network and the solution in the unit level both needs to win.
Priyansh, your biggest learning?
So I would have to say tenacity at the core of it, standing firm, because me and my co-founder are college founders. We are, I think, the youngest in the room. So starting out, even with the application to Loop to Unicorn, it was like the tech is still not de-risked. It might fail.
Okay.
But everyone was telling us that, you know, don't get in this space, man. It's a battery space. There are huge giants here. What are you doing here? And we were like, dekha jayega. We'll see. We'll stand firm on our tech. We'll develop it. We'll see where it goes. And with Leap to Unicorn, we proved it again and again. Every time we were coming better, and every time we were getting more attention and garnering more success for our team and for our tech. So tenacity, standing firm, doesn't matter what's your age. It matters how much can you push. So that's my learning overall.
All right, let me go across to Satish. Satish, what has been your biggest learning from the journey so far?
Leap to Unicorn Season 2 was a unique bootcamp. It helped us connect and network with founders who have scaled their companies in the Indian startup ecosystem. There were seasoned investors who shared insights and best practices on the fundraising journey for startups.
All right, we've now come to the final round of questions, and I have some 5 rapid questions for our final 5 or the top 5. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
We'll start with Priyansh. So your favorite bootcamp session?
The one with the advisors and mentors where Akash Chandrani was present.
Okay.
I think the IP session on intellectual property, very important for deep tech, Arctic Invent.
All right. All right, Anuj, your favorite bootcamp session?
The favorite one was the go-to-market session, right? So there I actually learned how to look after, different personas that you have and how to approach them.
So it was like a one-on-one session
Right,
with him.
right.
All right, Sahil.
GTM, go-to-market strategy. So there was a session dedicated for that, so it helped a lot.
Satish.
My favorite bootcamp session was by Amit Shukla, the founder of EasyGov. The session was on business validation.
Sahil, describe your startup in 3 words.
Portable blood testing.
Okay, nice.
Generative AI for BFSI.
Buddhabrata.
3 words.
Yeah.
I'll hyphenate battery swapping, so that's 1 word. Autonomous battery swapping for 4-wheeled electric vehicles.
Okay, Priyansh.
Limitless renewable energy.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Satish.
AI Health Highway in 3 words: screen, detect, predict.
One area every startup should focus on or prioritize. Sahil.
Customer.
Okay.
Product.
Product. Customer product.
Survival.
Survival. Priyansh.
Team.
Satish.
One area every startup should focus on is following up on your meetings and leads.
One thing India's startups need.
Funding.
Funding.
Ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
Better infrastructure.
Better infrastructure. Very important.
Long-term vision.
Long-term vision. Okay.
One thing India's startups need: dream big.
Now the final question. An entrepreneur who inspires you the most and why? Sahil.
Definitely Elon Musk, I'll
Elon.
say,
Yeah.
because long-term vision, like he wants to do something which is beyond imagination. So I think in India, people should aspire to actually target those ideas which are not regular and
Yeah.
then do something great about it.
Okay, Anuj.
I would say Kunal Shah because he's been like a personal mentor to me and also an investor.
Yeah.
So I've seen his journey from free charge to
Yes.
cred and so on. So yeah.
I think Steve Jobs, because he kind of explained how to look at design, because often we think that design is more about how it looks, the aesthetics of it, but he really spoke about how design is how it works, not how it looks. And this is one of the core reasons we are swap design, because we're not
Okay.
really about swapping versus fast charging. We're thinking that it's about the design, how you roll it out. So swap, if you do it the right way, that's best. So swap design.
Okay, Priyansh.
For sure, Sam Altman.
Okay.
Cracking an industry no one thought was crackable with a technology no one thought was buildable at a time when no one thought it was possible. That's what we're here to do, right?
Satish.
An entrepreneur who inspires you the most, for me, it's Mr. Ratan Tata.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for those super candid answers and being sporty. And that brings us to the end of this Leap to Unicorn Season 2 special on Young Turks presented by IDFC FIRST Bank in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC-TV18. Thank you once again to our top 5 finalists for giving us a glimpse into their journeys through India's biggest startup growth and funding program. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in on this journey. It doesn't end here. Leap to Unicorn Season 3 is just around the corner. Stay tuned.